Yesterday, I met with Blizzard so that I was prepared to share with you these patch notes. These patch notes are the longest I have ever seen Blizzard put out, and everything that we're going to be talking about here today is official, will be in the game. There's no speculation, no question whatsoever. So thank you, Blizzard, for having the call so I could have a good understanding and share it with my community. And let's get into this, guys. This is extensive. I do have some video clips as well I'll be sharing towards the end of the video. All right, so we know that the update is called Splintered Souls. It introduces familiars that are going to fight alongside of us. Basically, we're going to be having pets inside of the game, which when we started, we didn't know how big this was going to be. But after that meeting yesterday, I realized that this is massive. It's going to affect us in many different ways, both having abilities and attacking abilities of the pets themselves, plus giving us buffs and auras, be able to equip or have one pet going at a time, but get benefits from multiple pets that you own at a time. Really cool. This update goes live on December 14th. Remember, I will be doing some type of a live or long form video looking at all of this. I'm probably gonna wake up early in the morning and get this going. So here is everything that we're gonna be talking about today. Yeah, you could see how long these patch notes are, and we're just gonna dive right into them. New mythical companions or familiars. You could see we have one of them showing right here in the image. The dawn of familiars. Use your knowledge of the arcane to contract a mighty creature, keeping them by your side to aid in your exploits. Familiars are extraordinary companions, beasts of the desert, fluorescent beings of light, tree-dwelling spirits, and most predatory of a most predatory nature. It is paramount to tread the path that lays ahead with an equally formidable ally at your side. Get a feel for familiars by playing the new Darkling Plane limited time event. More details later in this article. So we do have a limited time event incoming. Familiars are peculiar creatures that must first be contracted. You'll earn familiars by playing through in-game activities and events, or purchase optional in-game bundles to level and obtain powerful familiars. Familiars PTO provide, look at that, look at them right there. They provide utility powers and passive skills, and they can aid you in battle, but don't impact resonance or combat ratings. So that's very important right there, okay? They do not impact our resonance or our combat rating. They do aid in the battle, but they're not going to make us stronger in those areas. More powerful familiars can also be acquired through meddling and conversion, which is outlined later in this section. Players can bring up to 6 familiars with them in combat. This is, as I mentioned in the very beginning of this, making the best use of them through passive, active, and secondary passive slots. So just to give you a little quick preview of what this is going to say, you have one familiar that's actually by your side, running along with you, attacking or doing whatever its skill is. Also, it was said that all familiars will pick up items behind you. So all of them will be able to help us clean up the gold, the monstrous essence, and all of that behind us. But we will also be able to have 5 others that we're equipping their essence, essentially, which can give us these buffs, whether they are active or passive. The familiar equipped in your primary slot will have all of their skills and abilities active to influence gameplay, while the familiars in secondary slots only affect gameplay through their secondary skills. Players will be able to purchase additional secondary slots for gold in the familiars tab. Notice it says for gold. Now, in the discussions I had with Blizzard yesterday, there was no talk of, what does it cost? How much will it cost to max out your pet? There are some items that you're going to need, and that's something that I hope is a little bit more detailed here. We'll have to see. We'll get that question answered. Familiar skills and utility. Let's get a better understanding here of what we were talking about. Each familiar has an active skill, which triggers in combat automatically. Passive skills, attributes, and traits that boost their own abilities and yours. Now, you may be getting confused. There's a lot going on here. Pets, are like a whole different game inside of the game, and it's done in such a different way than we've seen before that it's a lot to learn. Active skills are the primary skill for each familiar, while passive skills provide the stats of the familiar. Traits help boost your various player stats, such as your movement speed, critical strike chance, and have great utility use. Attributes determine the familiar's power and improve these values to improve their potency. A level 1 familiar only has its active skill unlocked, with all 6 passive skills unlocked once the familiar reaches level 30. So that is how you unlock their skills. Every 5 levels, you unlock another passive skill slot. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Familiars have traits, which can improve things such as critical hit chance, movement speed, and when not actively equipped, as the active skills. Passive skills strengthen the familiar itself, while traits improve your stats, including the familiar's traits. Traits become available once a familiar reaches level 30 and are divided into 2 common categories: common and advanced. Common traits only apply to the familiar they appear on, and advanced traits stack between your currently selected familiar and bonded familiars. A familiar can have a total of 6 traits. Familiars can have 4 different attributes, which determine the potency of their passive skills: ferocity, agility, insight, and resilience. So I think you're getting a good look here as to how in-depth and complex these things can get. Now we have ordinary and aberrant familiars. So there are 2 different versions right now. And notice we do have people, it's something I'm seeing here: companion, bonds. We have all their stats right here. We have other idle familiars that we have as well. A lot going on in this image, and a lot going on in this blog post. Familiars have 2 separate variants: ordinary and aberrant. Ordinary familiars are most common. They can be found easily and contain the valuable skills available to aid in combat and beyond. By comparison, aberrant familiars carry stronger skills, and only aberrant familiars can achieve the most advanced growth stage of physical maturity. Because again, we were talking about how these can evolve and how we make them better, bigger, stronger, more skills, more traits. For more information, read the familiar conversion, which is going to be a little bit more down below. Let's talk about how we get our pets or our familiars, the acquisition. Familiars can be acquired in a few ways, mainly through a summoning contract or through purchasing a tamed familiar. Now, remember we talked about that new vendor that's going to be available in Westmarch. To acquire a summoning contract, talk to Nizza. This is that vendor with Nizza the Witch in Westmarch, and purchase one with gold. Summoning contracts can also be obtained as event rewards, battle pass rewards, or as a regular drop for killing monsters in Sanctuary. A summoning contract has an equal chance of producing each kind of familiar. We have the Blood Talon, or the Dust Power, etc. Each kind of familiar has certain active abilities they favor, so choosing specific familiars may best suit your playstyle. So we're not just going to get any ones that we're just going to throw on, which I guess you could, but think about what kind of playstyle you're going to be going ahead with, and that may determine how you're going to actually want to choose the familiar that you choose. And these right here are the contracts that you can get to do that. Additionally, familiars can be purchased at the Tamed Familiars shop at level 30. So that's right, these can be sold when they reach level 30. Familiars can also be attained from shop bundles, the marketplace, the Boon of Plenty, and through event rewards. Purchasing a familiar guarantees what type of familiar you receive and whether they are ordinary or aberrant. So, as someone that buys the Boon of Plenty, I spend $10 a month for the Boon of Plenty. It seems like we're getting another additional bonus to the Boon of Plenty, which is quite nice. Maybe it's wise and easier to just purchase these types of things from the Boon of Plenty rather than having to farm them up and try and figure out how to do that. All right. I guess it depends on how free to play you want to be. Aberrant familiars can also be traded at Winston's Market with passive and active skills, fully unlocked on purchase. The varying numbers of common and advanced traits. Aberrant familiars can also be obtained through conversion. More details in the conversion section. All right, let's take a look at the quality of the familiars. Familiars have 4 different quality levels: common, magic, rare, and legendary. Each rarity of familiar indicates the level and strength of the passive traits the familiar possesses. Ordinary familiars can be common, magic, rare, while aberrant familiars have the potential to be all 4 types of rarity. Now, there is a summoning table, a table where you go, you will draw on the table with that draw mechanic inside of the game with hopes of summoning the proper familiar or pet. Once you've obtained a summoning contract, use the summoning table in Niz's shop to summon your familiar. We saw this in action yesterday. Unfortunately, the discussion that we had with Blizzard was not able to record. I was not able to take any photos of it, so I just have the notes that I took, and it's all up here in my gourd. Using the summoning table assigns the kind of familiar, unique active skill, and passive skills, which are assigned but not yet available, as well as attributes and stats. If you've purchased a level 30 familiar in Niz's shop, the outcomes are a little different. The familiar type is already assigned upon purchase, as is the unique active skill, attributes, and stats. Traits are assigned immediately, as the purchased familiar is already level 30. Now let's talk about, since we've obtained them, leveling them. We'll call it melding inside of this. You're going to have 2 familiars, as you can see in the image right here. They're both yours that you own. You will meld them together, and you will be able to get the properties, upgrade them, the skill quality, and you're going to be able to assign different traits along the way, or skills. I forget which one it was. Melding provides a way to increase the power of your familiar by taking 2 familiars and melding them together. Melding allows you to select or transfer specific passive skills onto your preferred familiar. Melding 2 level 30 familiars will produce a familiar with improved passive skills and allows you to select the 6 passive skills of your choice from the 2 melded familiars. This also has a chance to produce a familiar with rare passive skills, even if both familiars in the melding possess none. So this is cool. I compare this to the charm system in the game. We all know the charm system is purely based on luck and can be very frustrating. Here, when doing the melding, it seems that we have a lot more choice and options. So we're not just hoping on luck and getting slapped in the face with nothing. Here we're actually going to have more success and be able to choose how things look. Reset skills for your familiar. This image right here, you can see the eligible skills in the bottom, our selected skills. You can see on the right-hand side what blind sign does and what the skills look like. It looks like the other things that we know inside the game, like if we're utilizing gems, normal gems, legendary gems, they have the same type of boosts that you're going to gain. Some of these are gained just by the pet, and some of them are going to be attributes that you can gain as well. When merging familiars of the same type, if the familiar that is discarded has attributes higher than the kept familiar, the melded familiar will receive a +1 bonus to that attribute. Melding is also available for merging 2 different kinds of familiars. This process, a familiar with different or better passive skills, and you can select which kind of familiar you'd like to keep alongside the preferred passive skills. See how they're saying you get to choose. For detailed drop rate chances for melding familiars, different drop chances are available to view inside of the game. We have a Switterite. Ferocity, agility, insight, resilience. These are the traits. You have the skills underneath and you can meld, etc. Now, familiar conversion provides access to a new familiar, a chance at obtaining an aberrant familiar. All right, so we have another thing right here, which is the conversion process. Notice we have different stars. Each of them have 6, but the one on the left has 6 golden stars. The other ones have the 6 blue stars. Notice, you could auto-select, you could switch familiars. This is some type of another upgrade progression. Notice it says, use 2 conversion stones. That was unclear in my discussion yesterday, and I did not ask the question, where do we get or how do we obtain conversion stones? Also notice it costs 2,000 platinum to convert. So this is something that you will need to use platinum for. Remember, platinum can be farmed for free inside of the game. It's not like this is a pay-to-win mechanic. It's still something that we've seen so far, that we're not going to be dealing with pay-to-win yet. Don't know about these conversion stones, though, where we get them. You can convert familiars of all of the same type, or select 3 different familiars to convert. Converting your familiars generates new traits and can sometimes create an aberrant familiar. Once you have 3 aberrant familiars for conversion and some spare platinum, you can convert 3 aberrant familiars for a chance at an aberrant familiar with legendary traits. Woo! I hope you're seeing how this is in depth. And this is why they're calling this the biggest update ever, in my opinion. Plus, after we get through all the pets, there is so much more. I mean, we are like an eighth of the way through this. So as you can see right here, it looks like we have some additional skills that have been dropped over here of different color. Conversions do not guarantee your converted familiar will remain in its specific rarity. However, if you want your converted familiar to remain as a legendary, you can use a conversion stone. Familiar stones can be attained either through adding pacts with the familiars in your inventory or purchasing shop bundles. Okay. Conversion does not guarantee a more powerful familiar. However, the use of a conversion stone allows you to lock in or improve the rarity of your familiar you're using to convert. New familiars. In our earlier patch notes, we teased multiple familiars that are arriving after the update will soon be revealed. We proudly present our next 3 familiars arriving with Splintered Souls. We have the Winged Damnation, the Blood Talon. Born from flames of the realm of damnation, Blood Talons are not demons, but hideous winged beasts. They prefer their meat fresh from living creatures, if possible, and will just as soon feed on a sleeping hellhound as a wayward adventurer. Now, remember, we did see some footage in yesterday's update video, by the way. The update videos that I've been posting previously, a lot of them came from different leaks, data mines, or the Chinese blog. Everything is official here, but if you want to see some of these in more action, you could check out those previous videos. They are over there. We have right here the Quake Strider, Behemoth of the Desert. Great beasts slumber beneath the sands of Shasar Sea, protected by the chitinous shell. This subsist on a diet of shrubs and other flora and occasional dune thresher. We kind of went through this in a previous video, so I'm just going to kind of go through these a little bit more quickly. We have the Storm Lost. Pretty cool looking, actually, when I got to see this one in action. This is probably the cheesiest looking when I look at it on the screen, but it was very cool how it actually worked inside of the game. And this one, the powerful storms that rage around the cold isles have birthed many strange and dangerous creatures. And the Storm Lost is one of them. All right, that's what we have on pets, but I do have a little bit of footage right here that I want to share with you. So let's actually do this. Let's come on over here. We're gonna come right over here. No, we're gonna come over here. No, we're gonna come over here. And let's do this. I want you guys to see these right here. Just a little bit of fire. Just so you guys got a little bit of a look at how they move around in the HUD screens. That came over from Red October. Thanks so much, my friend. Appreciate it. Because that was the end of discussion of pets. I mean, we are 20 minutes into the video and it was all focused on familiars or pets. I hope that it was a a good enough discussion for you guys to get a decent understanding of how big they're going to be inside of the game. Everyone will have pets. Everyone will have multiple pets, and we'll be getting different buffs to our character from all of the 6 pets that we equip. One of them is the primary that we see on the screen. The other 5 we're utilizing basically passive skills for them that are going to buff us throughout our battles. New zone and event, the Southern Dreadlands. All right, we've learned a lot about the Southern Dreadlands, how the stone erupted and went into all these different people that turned them into these beasts that we now have to fight. All right, the Southern Dreadlands are an expansive zone that includes acid-streaked plains and hills, deep underground ravines, outskirts of the great city of Stalbreak, the tent refuge of the Grey Wards, and a surreal gully of madness. But don't worry, we are going to be doing this with our new familiars, so we're safe. The frightful power that shattered the World Stone is surging forth from the Dreadlands. In several wilderness zones throughout the continent, small shard storms, dangerous whirlwinds that contain tiny splinters of the World Stone, are ravaging the landscape, creating Shardborn, attracting monsters. For a limited time, you'll be able to speak to the witch Saysild in Westmarch, near the Rackin Square, to learn where the storms are headed next, and try to stymie them for rewards. Additionally, 13 new bounties have been added to the bounty board for the Southern Dreadlands. Be sure to complete them all for rewards. So this is great. We're gonna get bounties in the new zone. Hopefully we're getting bounties in other new zones too that we don't have them yet, but it's really nice to see that we're gonna be getting bounties in an area where, you know, we're gonna be able to explore the new zone. I'm actually looking right now. This is not where that is in the game right now. Isn't it up top right now? I'm turn on my game and take a look, but yeah, I think that there is the movement of the stance as well. The access to the Southern Dreadlands zone, you'll just need to begin the Splintered Souls main quest, Lost Justice. After completing the Tristram Cathedral main quest and reaching Hell difficulty 4, you'll be called to look for Eldarin, the sword of the Archangel Tyrael, the new Diablo Immortal. New to Diablo Immortal, this main quest incorporates some choice-based decision-making and a new optional quest to pursue. Hold your ground. Stand zone event. This is going to be that new tower defense zone. I'm literally logging into the game right now just to see where my stance button is right now. I believe, because remember they mentioned that it's going to be changed in the settings. Yes, stance button right now is up top. My stance button is right here. Stance button is going to be moved below. So it's most likely going to be an option for us to move the stance button, not that we're going to have to switch our stance buttons in the settings every time we want to switch them. So that's a nice thing as well. Sliding on down, we're going to continue here. Beyond new monsters and ambience events, a new main quest, the Southern Dreadlands, will play host to the new zone event, Sentinel Stand. In the event, you'll race through the gullies of madness, summoning defensive towers with abilities like Freeze, Chain Lightning to prevent Shard Warden creatures from reaching a massive Shard Storm and wreaking havoc on the land. Should you succeed in your efforts to protect this delightfully miserable part of Sanctuary, magic, rare, or legendary items and gold will be your spoils. This seems to be the tower defense mode. Notice, wave 1 of 5. Shows you the number of enemies that are coming. It said here, though, that this is an event. So I hope it's not a pop-up that we can only participate in when it pops up. Hopefully it's something we could do all the time, or at least on a recurring schedule. We'll see how that actually dives into, how we could dive into that and how often. Additional Inferno difficulties and Soulhone Heliquary bosses. I think we have 4 or 5 new Heliquary bosses. So these malicious Havengers of Anguish can be encountered across 3 new Inferno difficulties. So we have Inferno 4, 5, and 6 coming to Diablo Immortal. To unlock 4, Paragon levels are going to be 1,100 through 1,299. You must defeat Saradan, Sky Sunderer, and on Infernal difficulty 3, Must be at least Paragon level 1100. So, in celebration of the Splintered Souls major update, everyone who is below Paragon 600 will benefit from the Speed of Creation bonus. We're putting a little extra pep in your step. Whenever you earn a Paragon level, you'll receive an additional Paragon level. Wow. So you're gaining double Paragon levels. That's insane. The best part is that this bonus stacks with any experience bonuses you might receive from being under your server Paragon level. So if you're getting what they mentioned, the 3,000 times experience for Paragon level, you then can get a double Paragon level on top of that. So really we're looking like 6,000. That's insane progression. Whew. Whenever you would receive Scoria, Void Blood Slag, and crafting materials from anywhere but the collectors and power battles, you'll get extra of those resources as well. Wow. Crazy how progression is going. All right, we have our new Heliquary bosses. Iphael. We have Drepsag. Pretty cool looking artwork here in these guys. They always do a nice job though. Elsali. Probably my favorite and probably gonna make it on the thumbnail. We have Isia, another really cool looking one, looks nasty. And then defeating Isia on Infernal difficulty 5 alone with a party unlocks Infernal difficulty 6, Paragon levels 1,300 through 1,399. There you will meet Peacethal, which again, super cool. That one looks like a demon fairy, actually. Double down on death in the Heliquary Surge. Where there's one Titan of Hell, there's bound to be more lurking nearby. Felling any Heliquary bosses on any difficulty has a chance to trigger a Heliquary Surge immediately after. Think of this as the Burning Hells sending additional opponents to hunt you down. In the Heliquary Surge, you'll have to topple a few additional random Heliquary bosses at reduced strength. Should you rise to the occasion, both rewards and bragging rights will be your spoils to claim. So it's like another Heliquary style event where you have to take on multiple Heliquary level bosses, which is cool. There are also new legendary gems coming to the game. 3 of them at that. And remember, these are all at rank 10 as we look at them right here. We have Unrefined Passage, rank 10 gem. This is a 1-star gem, and damage you take while moving is reduced by 15%. You have a 4% chance to be immune to an attempt to slow you. It's actually quite nice for a build like my Crusader where I am on my horse and constantly running. We have Unrefined Passage. All right, well, I just read that. Okay. Next, we have the Igneous Scorn, a rank 10. This is a 2-star gem. I like 2-star gems. Your critical hit cause explosion that deal 120% base damage plus 486 to nearby enemies. These explosions cannot occur more often than once every 6 seconds. After triggering an explosion, your damage is increased by 10% for 2 seconds. Nice 2-star there. And of course, there is going to be a 5-star gem available to us. This one is called Maw of the Deep. Rank 10, 5 out of 5-star gem stats right here. Dealing damage conjures a whirlpool at the enemy's location that pulls nearby enemies to its center. After 2 seconds, a massive sea monster erupts from the whirlpool, dealing 450% base damage, plus 1,701 to all enemies nearby enemies. That's pretty crazy. And knocking them up. Cannot occur more often than once every 20 seconds. The sea monster also destroys enemy armor for 6 seconds, increasing the damage they take from you by 24%. That's just nuts. Modify your drop table. From December 14th through January 4th, players can have the option to enable a modified drop table from their legendary crests when running Elder Rifts. Once enabled, whenever you receive a 5-star legendary gem as a drop, there's a 50% chance it'll drop a Maw of the Deep. So if you're looking to get one of those, then that is how that's going to get done. Let's look right here at the bracelets, because we talked about gems. Gems are coming to pets. It's actually Gems are coming to the update. They're just not going to be attached to your pets. In my opinion, it is the same difference. Whether the pet is wearing these bracelets or you're wearing these bracelets, there are more gem slots, and there could be 6. I need a drink of water out of this Dixie cup. That's all I got. All right. So, Enigma's conflagration set and bracelet slots. So notice how everything is going to be laid out here a little bit differently now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can hold 6 more gems potentially. How are these going to be attainable? Will we be allowed to get more drops in a day? It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out and what it's going to actually look like. Let's read on. We have a new set that's obtainable from the following dungeons in Infernal difficulty 4 and higher: Dread Reaver, Forgotten Tower, The Rapids, Mad King, Tomb, the Tome of Fahir, and Tristram Cathedral. Let's read about this set. A Kismet's Conflagration 2-piece bonus. After igniting your enemies, their burn duration is increased by 30%. Oh my god, that's so good. My build is all about burn. This is huge. The 4-piece, there's a 15% chance of lighting an enemy when dealing damage, burning them for damage over 3 seconds. This stacks up to 3 times. And then the 6-piece, after igniting an enemy, your attacks become more powerful for 12 seconds, cooldown over 40 seconds. Further attacks against enemies with 12 stacked burning statues will explode, causing damage to the immediate area. The cooldown is 0.5 seconds. Additionally, 2 new secondary slots have been added to Diablo Immortal: bracelets. So they are on our person. They are not on our pet. The item can only be crafted at a blacksmith or Infernal difficulty 4 and higher. We've also added bracelets for all other existing sets that help to reinforce the bonuses provided by the sets, which is really nice. It's actually going to be easier to put our sets together now that we have more pieces and more items that we can utilize to put them together. All right, now let's get into some of the events that we have coming. The Splintering Dark limited time event. Well, what is this? Darkness provides a respite for the woes of the world for some, and for others, it's a vehicle to fuel their deepest fears. Where will traveling into the Splintering Dark transport you? From the 14th through the 28th of December, you can complete daily Splintering Dark tasks to earn bundle rewards fit for roving Defender of Sanctuary. 3 tasks, a legendary gem or item, 6 tasks, 3 rare crests. 9 tasks, a legendary crest. Very nice. Darkening Plane limited time event. After witnessing under the mental distress, trapped in the darkness recesses of their mind, some of Sanctuary's familiars ventured into the Darkening Plane to rescue them. The new limited time event runs from December 14th through the 28th as well, and factions like the Fractured Plane, but gives players the opportunity to test out different familiars. Oh, that's cool. And this is awesome. So this is how this can help us kind of decide what familiars we like, which ones are going to benefit us, and which ones we want to get contracts for. Very cool. I love how they use the Fractured Plane to have us test out things. They did the same thing with the Blood Knight. 3 different familiars will be available to you each day on the Darkening Plane. You'll choose one at random, which begins at level 30, which is the max level, and contains a random assortment of active skills, passive skills, traits, and attributes. Keeping your trusty familiar close and together, you shall prevail over the Darkening Plane, looming threats, and secure rewards such as 1 familiar contract, gold, scrap, and other crafting materials. So even from doing this, we can get rewarded with a contract to get a pet. Survivor's Bane limited time event. That's a cool Crusader graphic. This introduces a new perspective on Diablo Immortal in that it can be played either vertically or horizontally on your phone and devices. Wow, they actually did that. I did not think they were going to go and make a vertical version of things. That's actually incredible. In Survivor's Bane, you'll begin each run with your character's items and a random skill for their class. As you move throughout the map, any skills you have equipped will automatically cast for you. Smithing Hell's minions will grant you useful experience orbs that level up your character. Each time you level up, you'll be presented with the option to equip a new skill. Up to 6 total can be equipped. The skill you're presented with can be from any class regardless of your character's class, or to upgrade your equipped skill. I can't believe this could be done in vertical. That's so awesome. Getting some looks at it right here. From December 22nd through January 11th, you can vanquish demons across 3 levels in succession: Shasar Sea, Ashwald Cemetery, and Frozen Tundra, to earn rewards and achievements, the latter of which unlocks new skills for you to test out while playing Survivor's Bane. This is so cool. We cannot wait for you to rain down vengeance on Sanctuary's demonic invaders in a new way to play Diablo Immortal. So it's literally another whole way of playing the game, even more than another game mode. So I gotta take my kids to the bus. I'll be right back and we'll get to the rest of these patch notes. All right, we are back from the bus. The kids are off to school and we can continue with the patch notes. Rite of Cleansing daily activity. Caked in foul demon blood from the conquest over the demonic scourge, you turn to a new service offered by Nizza in Westmarch to keep your body and mind whole. The Rite of Cleansing is a new daily activity where you'll earn Moonrite Flora from culling monsters in Sanctuary. You can hold up to 99 Moonrite Flora, and each Flora has a strength value of 1 through 5. Sacrifice 5 recently obtained Flora to open one of 3 events based on the total value of the Flora used. The rewards you'll receive from completing the event scale with the strength of Flora sacrificed, and can consist of legendary items, set items, and more. All right, not sure what this is going to actually look like, but we have another daily event that we can participate in for more great rewards to be had. There's going to be a lot to do inside of the game. Like a lot of grind type stuff. Returning events, recruiting a friend, of course. Recruit a friend event comes back so that we can get more people inside of the game. That's going to be going on from the 14th through the 24th. Hungering Moon is back, which is great. Another way to passively get rewards for doing things you already do. This is going to be there from December 16th through December 23rd. Then we have Conqueror is back, the PvP mode that I do the least of, which I probably should do more of. That's going on from December 21st through December 28th. And oh, look at this, Christmas is back, Brumaltine. From December 22nd through the 5th, you can show your adoration for continued warmth and safety during the Brumaltine limited time holiday event. Each day, players can compete up to 3 daily tasks to exchange for snow-dusted rewards and progress towards grander prizes. Each week, players can log in to receive celebratory gifts. Players can also participate in the tradition of trading greeting cards with friends. Remember we did that last year? That was cool. Visit the Brutalmine in-game event menu for details. Cool. I love when any games bring in the holidays. I think it just makes you feel good when you get into the game, gets you in the spirit. Shady Stock has also returned, so we can get more of those green items. And Wild Brawl is also returning from the 29th through the 5th of January. Diablo Immortal's very own Battle Royale mode. Scorched Sea, we haven't seen this one in a while, I feel. This event's going to be going on from December 30th through January 6th. The downtrodden look up at you and continue. And to continue serving them, you must travel into the unknown, into the Scorched Sea. That's where that one's going to be taking place. And some of the rewards you can get: completing 3 tasks, 1 random legendary item; 5 tasks, 3 rare crests; 7 tasks, 1 Telluric Pearl; and 8 tasks, 1 legendary crest. I always like this because I love getting Telluric Pearls and I love getting legendary crests. So it seems like it's very attainable. Everyone should be able to get there, just like this Battle Pass. Season 21 Battle Pass. I think it looks awesome. This is a nice, demonic looking, hell-ridden, very Diablo-esque. This is going to go live on December 21st. That's when the new Battle Pass will be available for us. So as of right now, I think we have, 8 or 9 days to complete our Battle Passes. By the way, I've been saving all of my rewards for weeks. I have not turned in anything. I have like 3,000 or 4,000 battle pass points to turn in, so I'm only up to like level 20, if that, right now. So it's gonna be like a one turn in, complete the battle pass, get my cosmetic, equip my Crusader with the new cosmetic, and then start working on the new one. Just because of the extra bonuses that we have going on, I thought it would be possibly valuable to do so, and I'm a patient guy. And I'm kind of training myself to deal with red dots and to not have it bother my OCD. Guys, there's more in this update, a lot more. Corrupted Radiance Phantom Market. All right, so this is gonna be your $170 cosmetic set right here. It looks great. It's really, really nice looking. As I mentioned about this prior one that is very Hell and Diablo looking, this is quite the opposite, which actually makes it stand out to me, because while everyone runs around looking very dark, red, fiery, hell-ridden, you could be wearing something like this one that makes you look really, really sweet. 170 bucks for this. It goes on from December 22nd through January 12th. And as you know, you have odds, the chances of getting all this stuff. So there is a chance that you can roll the main cosmetic, the end game cosmetic, and it's a 0.13% chance. The Corrupt Radiance cosmetic set. Every time that you roll, the chance of getting that gets better. Realistically, that'll be the last thing that you roll, unless you have extremely good luck, which hopefully some of you do. Hopefully I do, that'll be awesome. And then you won't have to spend the 170 bucks if you want the cosmetic. All right, Mirrored Jewels Elder Rift Enhancement. What is this even talking about? Mirrored Jewels, available once only. Additional legendary gems drop on the same type. Well, this is cool. Once, from December 22nd through December 26th, you can toggle a Mirrored Jewels before you begin an Elder Rift run. For just that run, every legendary gem you receive as a reward will be accompanied by an additional random legendary gem of the same type and random quality. The probability of receiving legendary gems from Elder Rifts remains the same, and we encourage players to activate Mirrored Jewels runs using 10 crests so they can maximize their chances. This is awesome. The question I have is, if you're using the red crests, which are not sellable once you get the gems, do they get mirrored with red ones? But more importantly, if we use purple crests, which can be sold, do they get mirrored with other sellable gems? Or they drop as unsellable? This is a great event though. Essentially, you're gonna get dropped here 20 legendary crests. I'm gonna save up, well, I could run an Elder Rift now with 10 plus, but I'm gonna just save everything for this. Make sure that I get big rewards there. All right, we have new items coming, 42 new legendary items for each class. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Barbarian, Blood Knight, Crusader, Demon Hunter, Monk, Necro, Wizard. All right, I'm not gonna go through all the different pieces in this video. I may do that in the following video, but for now, we'll just talk about some balance changes that are coming as well. Undying Rage for the Barbarian, healing as a percentage of damage increased from 15 to 20% against players. That's cool. And Whirlwind damage is increased by 15%. What? Wow. Big buff to the Crusader. And Barb items, the damage is increased on all 3 of those items. Bitter Wind was one that I was using. Crusader skill, Conjuration of Light cooldown has increased from 30 to 35 seconds in Battlegrounds. Come on, man. And then Blinding Wall cooldown until a player can be affected by blind again, increased from 3 to 5 seconds. So buff to the Barb, nerf to the Satyr. Demon Hunter items, increased damage on both. Monk, damage increased. Wizard, damage reduced by 10%. Damage to monsters remains unchanged for Heart of the Storm. Would you look at that? The only darn class getting a nerf is the class that I am. What the heck? The Crusader is not overpowered. 3 new Paragon specializations. The new Paragon specializations await you in the new Infernal difficulties. Champion, Warden, and Ranger create new avenues for you to customize your fighting style even further. Love this. Was just mentioning that we need new Paragon trees because I'm filling up. Champion, unlocked in Inferno difficulty 4. Defeating successive enemy players makes you stronger. Warden unlocked at 5. The more enemies you face, the harder you are to defeat. And Ranger unlocked at Inferno difficulty 6. You become more deadly the farther you are from your enemies. Distance becomes your new weapon. Wow, that could be really great for something like a Demon Hunter or a Wizard, the Ranger. Warden and Champion, though, sound great for all. And yes, everyone, the biggest part of the update, which I think is the smallest part of the update, but people would battle me because they are very excited about the body type change, we're calling this. A new barber option. Look at that. You go to the barber shop to get yourself a new body these days. We wanted to expand your ability to express your character even after their adventure has begun. I think it's cool. I personally like using a male, not because I'm a male, but because I like how the character is larger on the screen. Cosmetics are just bigger. It's a little bit more detail because things are bigger. That's just me, but everyone is gonna be able to do what they want. So now you have the option to change your character's presentation at will by visiting the barber in Westmarch. Each player's presentation can be changed every 7 days at no cost. We have a couple of other things. Greed's Spoils. While cutting down demons in any dungeon, there's a chance for a new Greed Spoils portal to appear. Entering the portal will transport you directly to that dungeon's final boss, but now there isn't merely a shortcut. The final boss will be a bit stronger, but felling them will grant you increased rewards, and treasure goblins have a chance to spawn during this encounter. The Spoils portals can appear in dungeon runs with any party size, and all players in your party receive additional rewards that are required. Greed Spoil sounds awesome, actually. Teleport right to the boss. Boss is a little harder. Treasure goblins, more rewards. Yes, please. That actually sounds awesome. Legendary Gem Trial is a new way for players to try out newly released legendary gems at no cost. Players can find the trial in Winton's Grand Marketplace, where they can read about the legendary gem's powers and activate a one-time use trial of the gem to see it in action. The first trial will feature the Maw of the Deep 5-star legendary gem. The gem trial is time limited, does not raise your combat rating or resonance, and cannot be used in competitive modes. That's fantastic. Not only for us to try, but for them as a sales tactic. If you try a gem and love it, you're gonna try and buy that gem. So good job there, Blizzard, on multiple fronts. New composite gems. What are composite gems? They're a new gem type that can be crafted at the jeweler and traded in Winston's Grand Market. These gems are a combination of both normal gems for a given color socket. A combination of both normal gems. Composite gems can be made from ranks 5 through 10 normal gems, but both gems must be of the same rank. Composite gems will have the attributes of both gems used to craft them. So essentially you're taking two gems and you're getting both attributes inside of one gem slot. Further strengthening our builds. Wait a second, does that mean we can now, if you're getting both attributes per slot, the slot number hasn't changed. Actually, we got 6 new slots with the bracelets. It's like twice as many gems are gonna be able to be used right now. You're gonna be able to double your normal gem input. That's nuts. It's already a problem inside of the game, people being able to get gems. I wonder if they're gonna, like I mentioned earlier, double down on how we get them. Red, Tourmaline and Ruby will equal a Spinel, which is damage and life. Yellow, Citrine and Topaz is a Jasper, potency and resistance. And blue, Sapphire and Aquamarine, armor penetration and armor. Wow. I bet you that if you take a look at your markets, values of gems are going to be increasing. People are gonna need to get gems and there's not gonna be enough. Composite gems can be upgraded to higher ranks at the jeweler by combining multiple composite gems at the same rank type, like how normal gems. So now, oh my God, you get a rank 5 composite gem, you need to get another rank 5 composite gem, if not more, to upgrade that one? Wow. Essence Extraction Loyalty Reward. Players can now select a loyalty reward at the Essence Extraction vendor. The feature update provides players a way to specifically target an uncollected essence to acquire. This is what we were talking about in previous videos, how it's going to give you better odds of getting the essences that you need. Whenever players can extract an essence, there's a small chance to get the loyalty reward from the vendor as a bonus. Each time a player does not receive a loyalty reward, their chance to receive one increases by a bit. Cool. Update to Battlegrounds matchmaking. Received feedback from players about instances where they are queued into a battleground match, but because a member of the lobby refused to select the confirmation button, all remaining players must re-queue. Yeah, that's frustrating. Going forward, when this does happen, the remaining players will receive a priority queue where any open slots will be backfilled so the players can continue to stay in the same instance. That's nice. Now, Battleground stats compression. What's this? We're updating stat compression tuning. We are updating stat compression tuning to better ensure participants in the mode are on a more level playing field. Players above certain health and damage stats will be affected by this compression while engaging in Battleground. The developers note, as with our previous rounds of Battleground stat compression tuning earlier this year, we aimed this compression at players who far exceed the average damage and health stats among Battleground participants, so this mode contributes to be fun and allows for more community to shine. Curious to see what the competitive Battlegrounds players will think of that. Reliquary Gauntlet boss rotation. Following the maintenance period for your respective region, rewards for the Gauntlet will refresh since we are introducing new bosses. If you have not yet acquired all the rewards current, make haste. All right, cool. Sounds good. Set items. The chance of set items to drop with 3 stats and 2 properties has increased. Developers note, we've received feedback stating that receiving set items with 3 stats and 2 properties was too rare of a drop. This change will make it so that players will more often receive the most sought after set items. That's great. We have the Winton's Grand Market pending sales. A new pending sales section has been added to the Winton's Grand Market. This section will store a queue of pending sales, clearing up market slots in case a player wants to put more items up for sale while previous items go through their holding period before platinum from the final sale can be retrieved. Players can enter their queue of pending sales, approve the final sale value for the given item, and collect their platinum once the sale is finalized. So essentially, after you sell something, you're now going to be able to use that slot again while you're waiting to claim the platinum from that sale. That's nice. Stance change button. We showed this a little bit earlier. We found that players have sometimes unintentionally pressed the change stance button due to placement in the menu. So we've added the alternative button configuration in settings for players to choose. So as suspected, you don't have to go into your settings to change your stance every time. You go in your settings to change where your stance button resides on your screen. We've received feedback that the item upgrade recommendation system is confusing and it doesn't consistently display a green arrow to indicate an item can be upgraded. To address this feedback, we're testing an alternative upgrade recommendation system which shows the corresponding number of green arrows for any items that have an increase in any of the 3 categories: score, combat rating, or attributes. For example, an item with an increase in combat rating and attributes over the item you currently have equipped will display 2 green arrows. Given the complexity of how combat rating attributes, magic attributes interact to contribute to player power, we felt it was more valuable for the new system to draw the player's attention to the potential upgrades rather than to try to discern upgrades using an algorithm with mixed results. I love my triple arrows up. Please note that this new system is being tested and welcome any feedback regarding if you like it or not, basically. Try it out. You can switch the modern item recommendation mode in the settings. For players who prefer the current system, you can select the classic gear recommendation mode. Okay, cool. So we still have both options. And about 50 geese just landed on my pond. Well, I'll be chasing them away in a little bit. Hero's Journey reset. Chapters 1 through 6 of the current Hero's Journey will be reset with the upcoming maintenance periods, and chapters 1 through 4 of the next Hero Journey will be available for players. Completing chapters 1 through 4 will reward players with the new Wilderness Unveiled portrait frame. Once chapters 5 and 6 are available, we'll be sure to let you know, but you can expect the new Hero's Journey to last roughly 6 months. Prodigy's Path update will end on January 6th, and the new iteration will run from January 6th through March 28th. New Conquest rewards have been added to the Conquest section of the Codex for the combat rating and life damage categories. Cool. Region-specific game additions. Below, you'll find a specific region-specific update. You'll find a region-specific update coming to this major update to the version of Diablo Immortal only in China. Proximity chat channel. Players who are in close geographic proximity to one another will have the option to communicate via a special chat channel. Currently, we have no plans to make this available for all other regions. All right, so this is not planned to come to us in the US. And then it goes into bug fixes. Check this out. This was the longest update patch note ever for Diablo Immortal. This is said to be the biggest update ever in the history of Diablo Immortal. And I think it's proving to be that. This is just an insane amount of information that I can't wait to dive into. I'll be doing it either via a live stream or a very long video of me experiencing it for the first time. I urge you to subscribe to the channel if you value information for Diablo Immortal, learning more about the game, or just having fun playing alongside of me. I appreciate all you guys sticking around until the end of these patch notes. If you made it this far, let me get a hashtag made it down below. I think we're gonna get very few of those. Also, big thanks to Red October, who has been guiding me through, feeding me information, patch notes, leaks, and all that stuff throughout the entire update process. Because of him, I was able to bring you guys all this information very timely. Also, thank you to Blizzard for including me in yesterday's meeting so that I was able to get more details to share with all of you here today. Have a great day, guys, and looking forward to the update. It's only 2 days away.